November 2nd, 2023. Daily Bread. Passage, Joshua chapter 16, verse 1 to chapter 17, verse 18. Key verse, chapter 17, verse 15. Title: Go, clear land for yourselves. The allotment for Joseph began at the Jordan, east of the springs of Jericho, and went up from there through the desert into the hill country of Bethel. It went on from Bethel, that is Luz, crossed over to the territory of the Archites in Ataroth, descended westward to the territory of the Japhletites as far as the region of Lower Beth Horon, and on to Gezer, ending at the Mediterranean Sea. So Manasseh and Ephraim, the descendants of Joseph, received their inheritance. This was the territory of Ephraim, according to its clans. The boundary of their inheritance went from Ataroth Adar in the east to Upper Beth Horon, and continued to the Mediterranean Sea. From Mikmethoth on the north, it curved eastward to Taneoth Shiloh, passing by it to Janoah on the east. Then it went down from Janoah to Ataroth and Narah, touched Jericho, and came out at the Jordan. From Tappuah, the border went west to the Kanoah ravine, and ended at the Mediterranean Sea. This was the inheritance of the tribe of the Ephraimites, according to its clans. It also included all the towns and their villages that were set aside for the Ephraimites, within the inheritance of the Manassites. They did not dislodge the Canaanites living in Gezer. To this day, the Canaanites live among the people of Ephraim, but are required to do forced labor. This was the allotment for the tribe of Manasseh as Joseph's firstborn, that is, for Machir, Manasseh's firstborn. Machir was the ancestor of the Gileadites, who had received Gilead and Bashan, because the Machirites were great soldiers. So this allotment was for the rest of the people of Manasseh, the clans of Abiezer, Helek, Azriel, Shechem, Hepher, and Shemida. These are the other male descendants of Manasseh, son of Joseph, by their clans. Now Zelophehad, son of Hepher, the son of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, had no sons, but only daughters, whose names were Mahlah, Noah, Haglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. They went to Eleazar, the priest, Joshua son of Nun, and the leaders, and said, "The Lord commanded Moses to give us an inheritance among our relatives." So Joshua gave them an inheritance, along with the brothers of their father, according to the Lord's command. Manasseh's share consisted of 10 tracts of land, besides Gilead and Bashan, east of the Jordan, because the daughters of the tribe of Manasseh received an inheritance among the sons. The land of Gilead belonged to the rest of the descendants of Manasseh. The territory of Manasseh extended from Asher to Mikmethoth east of Shechem. The boundary ran southward from there to include the people living at En Tappuah. Manasseh had the land of Tappuah, but Tappuah itself, on the boundary of Manasseh, belonged to the Ephraimites. Then the boundary continued south to the Kanoah ravine. There were towns belonging to Ephraim, lying among the towns of Manasseh. But the boundary of Manasseh was the northern side of the ravine, and ended at the Mediterranean Sea. On the south the land belonged to Ephraim, on the north to Manasseh. The territory of Manasseh reached the Mediterranean Sea, and bordered Asher on the north and Issachar on the east. Within Issachar and Asher, Manasseh also had Beth Shan, Ibleam, and the people of Dor and Dor, Tanakh, and Megiddo, together with their surrounding settlements. The third in the list is Napoth. Yet the Manassites were not able to occupy these towns, for the Canaanites were determined to live in that region. However, when the Israelites grew stronger, they subjected the Canaanites to forced labor, but did not drive them out completely. The people of Joseph said to Joshua, "Why have you given us only one allotment and one portion for an inheritance? We are a numerous people, and the Lord has blessed us abundantly." "If you are so numerous," Joshua answered, "and if the hill country of Ephraim is too small for you, go up into the forest and clear land for yourselves there, in the land of the Perizzites and Rephaites." The people of Joseph replied, "The hill country is not enough for us, and all the Canaanites who live in the plain have chariots fitted with iron, both those in Bethshan and its settlements, and those in the valley of Jezreel." But Joshua said to the tribes of Joseph, to Ephraim and Manasseh, "You are numerous and very powerful. You will have not only one allotment, but the forested hill country as well. Clear it, and its farthest limits will be yours. Though the Canaanites have chariots fitted with iron, and though they are strong, you can drive them out." Daily Bread Message. The tribes of Ephraim and Manasseh, the sons of Joseph, received their allotted land. Then from the tribe of Manasseh, the 5 daughters of Zelophehad, who had no son, came to Joshua and claimed the land that Moses had promised to give them. They had petitioned both to Moses and to Joshua, challenging the firm norms by their faith and courage. God honored these women's faith and courage and gave them an inheritance. The tribes of Ephraim and Manasseh complained that the land was not enough for them, because they neither cleared the forest nor drove out the powerful Canaanites equipped with iron chariots. Joshua saw that the real problem was not lack of land, but lack of faith, vision, and fighting spirit. So he encouraged them to be strong in the Lord, to clear the forest to its farthest limits, and drive their enemies out. Without faith, we see only obstacles and formidable enemies and complain. By faith, we can see spacious land and great blessing beyond obstacles and enemies. Faith causes us to quit complaining and hold to what God has promised. Prayer. Lord, help me to have faith and courage so that I may see God's great promises and hold on to them boldly. Help me to clear the land. One word. Go up and clear land for yourselves.